5 of us is fun, huh? Your phone has been blowing up, Captain Keiichi Sato.
My name is Keiichi Sato. Today, I was invited to drinks by a high school classmate. Wait, this isn't just drinks. It's a mixer. Sorry for bringing an unemployed guy to a Captain NCA mixer. This guy is my high school classmate who invited me, Takeshi Kimura. He's a captain at Tokimeki Air, and apparently tonight's mixer is with their cabin attendants.
Joining a mixer in your situation seems awkward in a lot of ways, don't you think? Mr. Sato, you're a pretty unusual person. If it were me, I'd be too embarrassed. No way. True. In that case, let's have fun with the 5 of us.
I see. That's a shame, but if that's how it is, I'm good. I'll head home. Huh? Hey! The next day, I was getting a tour of Tokimeki Air from cabin attendant Yui Asakura.
Your phone has been going crazy for a while now, Captain Sato.
It's those CAs from yesterday. I kind of swapped contacts at the start of the mixer without really thinking.
You're not going to pick it up?
Nah, it's fine. It's probably a complaint about me.
Huh? Hey, why aren't you answering the phone? Because of you, we're getting called in by the chief purser. Explain what's going on.
After that, I was summoned by Operations HQ Manager Kojima and headed to a meeting room.
What?
Huh? Why is Sato in our uniform? I didn't become unemployed. I was using up my paid leave until yesterday.
Huh? What do you mean?
Starting today, I'm a captain at Tokimeki Air. I'm your coworker. What? Weren't you in the self-defense forces? I changed jobs from the self-defense forces to become a commercial pilot. It's not that rare, right? I mean, that route does exist. But up through last week, I was working at the parent company, Doki Doki Airlines. I built up experience there, took the exam, and I'd already made captain. No way! Since I've been reassigned to Tokimeki Air, I was actually going to break the news at yesterday's get-together and surprise everyone. I never imagined I'd be treated like that, though. Well, but that still makes you my junior here, right? I mean, technically, yeah.
Captain Sato is very capable, highly experienced pilot, so even if he's your junior, Captain Kimura, I think there's plenty you could learn from him.
Huh?
As a transport pilot in the Japan Air Self-Defense Force, Captain Sato reportedly joined numerous disaster relief and overseas missions.
On top of that, at his age, he already holds instructor credentials. And he's even served as the training lead for new pilots.
Wait, really? I had no idea!
No, it was just that no one else was there to do it. That kind of thing isn't unusual in the self-defense forces, right? Huh? Well, there are people like that, sure. Then it's not such a big deal. What's more impressive is graduating top of the class from Aviation University and being the first in my cohort to qualify as a captain. That makes me the standout. Talking about the self-defense forces you quit doesn't do so much for me.
If you want to talk about achievements after entering the airline industry, Captain Sato also rose through the ranks at Doki Doki Airlines, making captain at an exceptional pace.
What? Isn't that unfair just because he's ex-SDF?
No, there aren't any special exceptions for former SDF members. The standards are exactly the same as yours. He advanced purely because his performance was outstanding.
You've got to be kidding me.
At Tokimeki Air, based on his experience so far, we're also planning to have him help with training other pilots.
Yes.
In aviation, it's supposed to be people like Mr. Sato strict with themselves and meticulous about following rules. It seems you two don't quite fit that mold. I'm sorry. We didn't mean it like that.
Huh? What do you mean?
The reason I called you here was not to introduce Captain Sato, but to address your behavior at the mixer last night.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
We received a report that you were loudly bad-mouthing the company even though it was not a private room. That is the report.
No. That was...
And your attitude toward Captain Sato was not exactly commendable, was it?
Well, I did not know, and we were classmates to begin with.
By belittling Captain Sato, people could get the wrong idea that our pilots are low quality, right? Even if you did not know about Captain Sato yesterday, should you not think a bit harder about how your words and actions affect the company?
I am terribly sorry.
Even if it happened off the clock, actions that damage the company's reputation can constitute a compliance violation.
In this day and age, if it gets posted online, it can affect our stock price, and in the worst case, it could even put the company in jeopardy. We are very sorry.
I am sorry.
Also, someone who changes their attitude depending on who they're dealing with is not cut out to be cabin attendant who must adapt on the fly to all kinds of people. Do you think you can handle the job? This time, the alcohol got to us a bit. We just went a little too wild. We will do our jobs properly.
People who work in aviation are always hard on themselves, constantly training, inspecting, and self-managing. Do not drag those people down. Be mindful, alright?
As a penalty, you are temporarily assigned to ground duty. To prevent a repeat of this, you will also prepare a training report and a written reflection. Yes?
Please once again recognize that your flights are made possible by many people, and take that to heart.
Yes.
This is the worst. Getting on the chief purser's radar like this. Writing reports is not even a cabin attendant's job.
Damn. You've got to be kidding me. The next day, the 5 who attended the mixer, including Captain Mizuno, who happened to be away on a flight, were made to write reflection letters in the office. Getting penalized for going overboard at a mixer is too embarrassing.
I kind of admired Captain Kimura, but wow, this is a letdown.
It is the worst that this is turning into office gossip.
What is this? We are like a sideshow.
1 week later... What's wrong, Asakura?
On yesterday's flight, 2 passengers ended up fighting. I couldn't mediate it well. Staying calm, judging the situation, and responding is harder than I thought.
In an emergency, even if one person panics or loses their cool, the entire cabin can be put at risk. For pilots and cabin crew alike, the ability to judge calmly is crucial.
Right.
But composure can be trained by simulating all kinds of situations. And by preparing properly, you can absolutely make it second nature.
Huh?
Ask yourself, if the person in front of you collapsed right now, what would you do? What is the optimal action? And move while constantly thinking that way.
Constantly, you say? Captain Sato, is that how you work too?
Exactly. It's a habit from my self-defense force days. It trains your split-second decision-making.
I see.
I believe this kind of daily discipline leads to safe flights and protects our passengers. That's genuinely what I think.
You really are amazing, Captain Sato. I'll follow your example and do my best.
Oh, Asakura, you're getting advice from Captain Sato too?
Yes!
Captain Sato's advice always comes in handy, right? Honestly, I want to be paired with Captain Sato every time. Huh? With Captain Kimura, he always feels a bit too casual, so I end up feeling uneasy about a lot of things. I heard he might be getting some penalty this time too.
I kinda get that. Senior Tateshi has that vibe too.
I see. So those two are 2 peas in a pod. 3 months later... Cheers! What are the odds we'd end up together on the Saipan route this soon? What a wild coincidence!
Totally! Plus, it looks like Taguchi and Yoshino on the return leg with us.
Oh yeah?
I'm just glad everyone's back to flying.
We both went through the ringer the other day, didn't we?
Seriously?
I never thought Sato would join the same company. And to top it off, rat us out to the company about that drinking party.
But hey, we're in Saipan, so we can speak freely.
True, Saipan is the best.
Huh? Hey, isn't that Captain Kimura and Tateshi?
Oh, you're right.
They look pretty deep into the drinks. Is that okay?
Nope, definitely not okay.
People don't usually drink like that on a layover.
The next day, when I got to the office, everything was in a flutter. Good morning? Manager Kojima, what's going on?
On the return leg from Saipan, Captain Kimura triggered the alcohol test.
What? Not a measurement error or something?
Seems he drank quite a lot the day before.
Huh? I've never seen anyone fail an alcohol screening.
It's a first for Tokimeki Air, too. First even across the group companies. Downright unprecedented. I have not heard of it happening at other airlines either.
Are there delays?
No. The staff over there saw Captain Kimura drinking and reported it up the chain. So a replacement captain flew without incident.
Well, thank goodness for that. Speaking of which, Asakura was on the Saipan flight too, right? I hope she's okay. And the next day, the Saipan flight arrived safely in Japan, and Tateshi and Captain Kimura made it back as well. But
drinking enough to fail an alcohol test? What on earth were you thinking? We have never had a pilot like that at our airline.
I'm sorry.
You too, Tateshi. You may not have failed the test, but I've been told you were making a huge ruckus in Saipan together with Captain Kimura. I'm sorry.
Thanks to other staff thinking on their feet and arranging a replacement captain, we managed not to inconvenience our passengers. But if they hadn't, we'd be in serious trouble right now.
My deepest apologies.
My deepest apologies. We've got a problem. Several cabin attendants, including Miss Tateshi, are under fire online. What? People say your response to a passenger who sat in the wrong seat was curt, and apparently the passenger had a child with them. They say you looked annoyed as you dealt with the crying child. No way! That would be Tateshi, Taguchi, and Yoshino. What? I see. So even after being penalized, not a single one of you reflected on it at all. Because you never fix the habit of changing your attitude based on who you're dealing with. It comes out in moments like this. That's... I also warned you to be careful. Since this is an era where things spread online instantly, didn't I? I'm sorry. However, the handoff to Miss Asakura afterwards is being called a god tier response. Huh? She coordinated with the other cabin attendants, moved luggage, and kept talking kindly to the child. And people were raving that it was both courteous and lightning fast. No way!
As expected of Miss Asakura.
Not at all. It's thanks to Captain Sato's coaching.
Pardon me.
President Kurose, what brings you here?
I came intending to sign the contract with your company today, but I've decided to withdraw it and return things to square one.
What?
A captain failing an alcohol test? I can't sign with an airline whose safety management is that lax. And the person who failed the test is the very person in charge of the deal, isn't he?
That is...
Moreover, I was in Saipan as well, so I saw the two of you making a big scene at the bars.
What?
I was also on the Saipan flight back, and just as the internet is saying, I also found those cabin attendants' handling of the situation unacceptable.
That was, I'm sorry.
Manager Kojima, what contract is this about?
President Kurose's company, Waka Waka Resort, has an island resort that needs a charter connecting the remote island and the mainland. And the contract was for Tokimeki Air to operate that charter for 3 years. Captain Kimura was the person responsible for that charter.
I see.
If this contract gets wiped clean and we have to pay damages, our management will get seriously tight.
Huh? Aren't you Mr. Sato? Huh? About 7 years ago, when a typhoon slammed into a remote island, you delivered relief supplies for us, right? Ah, that time! Thank you so much for what you did back then. Not at all. I simply did my duty as a member of the Self-Defense Forces. And now, you switch careers to become a pilot? Yes, I serve as captain with Tokimeki Air. I sincerely apologize for the trouble we caused this time. No. I see. If that's how things are, then for this contract, if you can appoint Mr. Sato and that cabin attendant there as the leads, we will sign. What? Back then, Mr. Sato, for those of us feeling small and anxious on that remote island, you did everything you could. That was the work of someone who carries pride and responsibility for his job. Oh, I don't deserve that. The same goes for that cabin attendant there.
Yeah?
That is not the kind of action you pull off by accident. It is how people move when they are always asking what their job is and what the best course is, and keeping that in mind at all times.
Thank you.
I want to work with people like that. President Kurose, please! Compared to them, you two, the captain and the cabin attendant, are the face of the company, right? If that face speaks or acts carelessly, the trust in the entire company shakes.
Well,
You are lacking across the board. From responsibility for your work to basic professional awareness. I have no intention of working with people like that.
no way. I was planning to have a little vacation on that remote island.
My job! After that, Tateshi and the other cabin attendants were banned from duty indefinitely and ordered to retake their training.
You lot! What is with that posture? Sorry! You cannot serve as a cabin attendant standing that sloppily. Do it again. Assume you are not going home today until you can do this. Yes, sir. Your voice is too quiet. Yes, sir.
Word is the demon instructor is drilling them hard. Furthermore, Kimura was dismissed for disciplinary reasons. To think I can never be a pilot again. What am I supposed to do now? Meanwhile, as for us, Asakura, you have already become someone everyone relies on. That is amazing.
No. It is all thanks to Captain Sato's guidance. If you're free sometime, would you like to have a meal together?
Huh? If you're absolutely fine with someone like me, absolutely.